This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, Bruchim Abaim. I enjoy learning with you every Friday. I can't tell you how happy I am to be learning with you this Friday from my house. I can't even begin to tell you. Okay, so the pasuk says in the beginning of the Parsha, Parak Vav Pasuk Daled, V'gam hakimoyisi es brisi itam, and I will fulfill my covenant with you, lases lohem, to give to them es Eretz Canaan, the land of Canaan, es Eretz Megureihem asher garuba. Let's think carefully about the pasuk. God says, I will establish my covenant with you, Moshe and Klal Yisrael, to give to them Eretz Canaan. Says Gemara in Sanhedrin Tzadi Amid Beis, Reb Simai Omer, how do we know Tchias HaMeisim in Torah? Like the pasuk says, V'gam hakimoisi es brisi itam, lases lahem es Eretz Canaan. God doesn't say, I'm going to give you Eretz Canaan, I'm going to give them Canaan. This is a indication to the resurrection of the dead min Torah. Rashi explains in the Gemara, Hashem is promising that He will give Eretz Yisrael to Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Hashem doesn't say, Moshe, I'm going to give you Canaan, I'm going to give them Canaan. So Rashi says, was it given to Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov? It was given to their descendants. Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov never went into Eretz Yisrael. They never inherited the land. This is a raya. There's going to be resurrection of the dead, and God will give Eretz Yisrael to Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Okay? You got that? The Gemara in Sanhedrin, Tzadi Amid Beis, says the proof to Tchias HaMeisim min Torah is from the fact that Hashem is destined to give Eretz Yisrael to the Avos. So the Sefer Chavatzel's HaSharon asks the following question. It's a Lamda Shekasha. I wish I could say I would have thought of it, but when I saw the Kasha, it's really a very penetrating question. What does it mean that Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov are going to get Eretz Yisrael? How? Doesn't the Gemara tell us that Eretz Yisrael is Neschalik L'Shvatim, which means that Eretz Yisrael is divided to Ruvain, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yisachar, Zvon, to the 12 Shvatim. And it doesn't go backward. Parents can inherit from their children. So when Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov get up, actually, they're not going to have a place to live. I'm sure the Eretz will be very happy to host Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. But how will they have a share in Eretz Yisrael? They're not going to yarshin Eretz Yisrael. Eretz Yisrael wasn't given to the Avos, it was given to the Shvatim. Eretz Yisrael is Chalik l'Shvatim. So very good, Avram Yisrael will wake up, and I'm sure one Shabbos they'll go to this Einikol and the other to the next Einikol, and there'll be all kinds of family politics where Avram Yitzchak and Yaakov is going for the Shalosh Regalim. The bottom line is they're not going to have a chilek in Eretz Yisrael. So how can the Gemara say that there'll be Tchias HaMeisim? Yes, and Avram Avinu will get up, yeah, but he won't have a chilek in Eretz Yisrael. How will he have a chilek in Eretz Yisrael? And what exactly is this distribution of Eretz Yisrael la'asad lavai? So the Chavatzel HaSharon says that if you look in Yechezkel, Perek Mem Zayim, Pasuk Yud Gimel, the Pasuk says, Koyamar Hashem Elokim, Zeh Gevul Asher Tisnachalu Es Ha'aretz, L'shnei Asar Shivtei Yisrael, Yosef Chavalim, V'nachalasam Oisa, Unachaltem Oisa, Ish Ke'echav, Asher Nasasi Es Yadi, Lasita Li'avoseichem, V'nafla Ha'aretz Hazois Lochem, B'nachala. Rashi explains as follows, because the pasuk in Yechezkel seems to be saying that la'asad lavoi, there will be a redistribution of Eretz Yisrael to the Shvatim. And Rashi says, la'asad lavoi yehei seder nachala mechudash. Rashi says la'asad lavoi, there will be a new inheritance. Not like the distribution of the land in the time of Yehoshua. Says Rashi, la'asad lavoi, all the Shvatim will receive an equal share. Right? If you look at a map of Eretz Yisrael today, based on the Chalukah to the Shvatim, not every Shevet has the same landmass, the same area of land. Yehuda has a very big share. I don't think Zevulun has that big of a share, or Naphtali has that big of a share. So, Bizman Hazeh, right now, Eretz Yisrael is distributed to the Shvatim, based on other considerations, namely, whether it's mountainous or the size of the Shevet. But la'asad lavoi, there will be 12 equal pieces of land. Furthermore, the Smag writes in Lav Reish Ayin Vav L'Asud Lavai, Shevet Levi will get real estate. Right? We know that Bizman Hazeh Shevet Levi doesn't have a share in the land. L'Asud Lavai, Shevet Levi will be given real estate, and it says in Yechezkel Perek Mem Ches Pasuk Lamed Aleph, Shar Levi Echad. So the simple reading of this is that the Levium will be given like cities as a gift, like the Arei Levium. But the opinion of the Smag is that it's referring to the new redistribution, L'Asud Lavai, and at this redistribution, Levi will also have a share. But here's the question, but doesn't the Torah say, a lav in the Torah, V'nachla lo'yia im echav? So how could we say L'Asud Lavai, Levi will have a share, but don't we have a principle, Ein Navi Rashai L'chadesh Davar, a Navi cannot change what it says in the Chumash, the Torah zu loy teich mechlefes, and the Torah will never be exchanged? So how could you say that L'Asud Lavai, Levi will have a share? What kind of share? That's against the Torah. But one thing is for sure, there's going to be some kind of new redistribution of the land, L'Asud Lavai. So this question is addressed by none other than Rabbi Chaim Brisker in the Kisvei Hagrach, Siman Reish Tzadi Gimel. And he says in the distribution of Eretz Yisroel, L'Asud Lavai, it will not be given to the Shvatim. Because it says in Yechezkel, Taflu Oisa, Tiflu Oisa Benachla Lachem Ula Hagerim Hagarim B'Soichechem. Another interesting, L'Asud Lavai, Gerim will have a share in Eretz Yisrael. This is quoted by the Mishnah Lamelech. Actually, what's today? Today's Friday. 2 days ago, we just visited the Mishnah Lamelech. Wow. This is quoted by the Mishnah Lamelech. Now, since the Chalukah L'Asud Lavai will not be a Chalukah of the Shvatim, therefore Levi will also get a share. Meaning Reb Chaim is saying as follows. The reason why Levi is not allowed to get a share in Eretz Yisrael is because he cannot inherit with his brothers. But L'Asud Lavai, Eretz Yisrael will not be given and distributed by the Shvatim. And once it's not distributed by the Shvatim, everyone can have a share. So we asked before, how do we know, how could you say that Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov will have a share in Eretz Yisrael, but isn't it given to the Shvatim? And the answer is absolutely not. Eretz Yisrael, L'Asud Lavai, is not given to the Shvatim. Eretz Yisrael is given to all of Klal Yisrael, including Gerim, including Shevet Levi, and therefore including Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. L'Asud Lavai eina mechulekes l'Shvatim, ela l'chol Yisrael. But this brings up a very interesting question. Because if Gerim and Avadim will get a share in Eretz Yisrael, L'Asud Lavai, we know the Rambam paskins and from the Gemara that Gerim and Avadim, when they bring Bikurim, they're not Mizvadim because they cannot say Ve'esho Adam Asher Nasat Lanu. So that's the halacha. Wait a second. But we know the Rambam is different than the Shulchan Aruch. The Shulchan Aruch wrote halacha b'noi ge'a b'zman hazeh. The Rambam wrote halachas even for Moshiach. So why would the Rambam say that Gerim and Avadim can't do Vidoyam Bikurim, but when Moshiach comes they can, because they will have a Chelek Ha'aretz? The Rambam says they don't say Vidoy because they can't say Ve'esho Adam Asher Nasat Lanu. But when Moshiach comes they could, so the Rambam should say, B'zman hazeh, when Gerim and Avadim don't have a Chelek Ba'aretz, they can't say Vidoy, and L'Asud Lavai, when they have a Chelek Ba'aretz, they could say Vidoy. So Chavetz Hashon wants to say that this din, that Eretz Yisrael is given to Gerim and Avadim, is that it's not given to them as an achuzah, that they own it as a real estate, but rather it's just a monetary right to live on it. And therefore, it doesn't belong to them like metaltalin belongs to them, that they sort of have it in their hands. It's just a certain monetary right that they have. Okay, but I thought that was interesting that the way Eretz Yisrael is distributed, Bizman Hazeh and Sefer Yoshua, is very different than the way it will be distributed, L'Asud Lavai. Now, what's the halach? What?
The boundaries are going to be different than L'Asud Lavai. Maybe Eretz Yisrael would be much larger, and there would be room to give, for others rather than for the Shvatim themselves. than what we know was designated previously.
Saying maybe the Eretz Yisrael proper will still be distributed by the Shvatim, and the expanded borders will go to Gerim, and maybe, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov also? Right, I hear that in terms of, let's say, Shevet Levi, and let's say Gerim and Avadim. But then what? What will Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov have? They'll have Turkey. That, in other words, they'll have Jordan. They'll have Ever LaYarden. Okay, interesting. It's worthwhile to be familiar with these psukim in Yecheskel about the new distribution of the land, La'asud Lavai. And again, this is learned out from the opening psukim in the Parsha, V'gam Hakimoisi es Brisi itam la'seis lohem es Eretz Canaan. Okay, we're going to go to the Shiur on Tefillah.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.